Oh, hi everyone! Welcome to Fading Footsteps. Before we go around and say hello to these wonderful faces, pro streamer. Before we go around and say hello to these wonderful faces, please check out all the links that have just been spammed at you, including our sponsor links. Please go and check them out. Bird in the Storm Publishing and Mage Hand Press. They were very thankful to them. They make this all possible. Let's go around and say hello to everyone. Why don't we say hello first to our wonderful DM, Holly. Holly, hi!
Oh, hi. I'm Holly, Sageophilia on Twitter and here. I'm here every Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I am super excited to make nothing at all troubling to Syntagon happen this episode. Of course. I'm going to go ahead and with that ominous note, pass it down to, hey, Dr. Will. Oh, hi.
What's up? How's everybody doing tonight? I'm Andy.
And I am super
hey, Dr. Will on the Red Hot Twitter machine. I'm very excited to be here tonight and introduce everybody to Gonzo Glitter Guts.
Okay, and it's the same one on Twitter. We're gonna pop over to, gosh, I have to keep tabbing over, and then
hi, hello, welcome from daytime in Australia. My name is Anthony or Chris Anthony. First name Chris, so little flower. It's a really bad joke. I'm looking forward to getting into this game and having a bit of fun and playing with some awesome new people. That's me.
All right, last but not least, our soldier in the dark times, our hostacular host. Oh, hi, Scratticus. What's up?
Oh, hi. Today I'll be playing Syntagon, our, for want of a better word, teenage disaster, who's having a lot of conflicting thoughts. It's a scary time being a teenager. He ran away last session because his past caught up with him and he didn't like it. He didn't remember anything, so he did the manly thing and ran away. Like good brave Sir Robin.
I mean, everyone has to run away every now and then, especially if they, see a pretty girl or giant rock scorpions.
Yeah, Syntagon is turning this into a trope, isn't he?
He's fine. He's just learning about feelings. All right. So, for basic recap of what happened last session, for those of you that may not have had a chance to be here, we had a kegger. It was really fun. We met a dancing centaur, and we had some crazy moves of vaulting over said centaur and stabbing giant water scorpions. We met a pink tiefling who seemed to be looking for Syntagon, who was a dwarf at the time, but she seemed to have figured him out, and he ran away, not screaming, but quickly. We killed a bunch of scorpions. We crashed the kegger. Tiffany died, maybe, to everyone's sadness. And then our wizard buddy went off to see if he could find Syntagon in the tavern they had been at before. So it's where we're gonna pick up. Syntagon, as you run into this tavern, you see on the stage that they have set up a dwarf. There had not been any performers previously, but you were here much earlier in the day before the exorcism. What is the dwarf doing for the performance?
He, if you've seen Back to the Future, the famous Johnny B. Good scene, imagine like a D&D equivalent of that, where he's doing things that with his loot that I don't think that the crowd there is really quite ready for yet.
Like rock and roll things, right?
Yeah.
Playing it behind his head and all that sort of like crazy stuff. Like.
Oh yeah, he's all over the place. Yep.
You see, like, the bartender is kind of like looking at you askance and kind of whispering to somebody. Syntagon, as you walk in, you catch or hustle in, however you're moving, you catch the phrase, "Who hired? Are we paying him?"
And Syntagon is, of course, a teenager, and this is a sound that he's never heard before. So he immediately is gobsmacked. Wow!
Yeah.
I've never heard anything like this before! Oh my god!
There's merch available to buy afterwards. So, he's got a merch table set up. I don't know what it looks like because there's no records or anything, but
there's like some like leather wristbands that just sort of have like a lute on them, and then another one that, God, looking at it, like, I guess it could be a face or maybe a sheep.
I saw a meme from Discord that I might borrow for this. Maybe a T-shirt that says, "I'm so baroque, I'm looting in the streets."
Do they have T-shirts like?
They do now. They've got magic.
They do now.
T-shirts aren't that inconceivable.
And also, yes, I should have asked you if you could do this real fast. Onsen or Onsen?
Onsen. Yes. Probably northern accent. Yeah, very much so.
You have been on your way to get back to your family, but you've heard some troubling rumors about weird genasi problems, like mutated genasi, the earth seeming to just like swallow people, water spirits coming out of seemingly nowhere. Troubling, not really something that you've been prepared for as you've been out on the sea. So despite being someone who isn't necessarily fond of the drink, you do know where to get the best gossip. Sorry, the best news. So you have ventured to this tavern named the Worm's Teeny, and you walk into almost directly smack into the back of a gobsmacked tiefling teenager staring up at this dwarven... It's dwarven or human? Dwarven performer playing something made for probably at least 1 or 2 generations younger than you.
Yeah, I think, well, Onsen's a pretty worldly kind of guy. He's seen quite a few things, but really he's quite innocent at heart and just a little bit taken aback. A, by pint-sized tiefling, and B, by dwarf rock. So he's going to do the same. He's going to be gobsmacked and just like
2 new fans.
Yeah, taking it all in. Whilst he's a kind of simple guy. So his this problem that he knows about is weighing very much on his mind. He desperately wants to get back to his family. He hasn't seen them in 5 years, and has news and things. And he's recently retired, so he's kind of looking forward to that. But at the same time, yet another cat tail. Yeah, that will be a feature. At the same time, he's enamored with this noise that is coming at him. So you can stand and watch for a bit. See what happens.
Glonzo, go ahead and make me a performance roll so we can see how good we're doing up here on stage.
I gotcha. Performance +5.
First roll of the night. 22? Okay.
22.
So you're doing pretty well up there. You see some of the dwarves around you are like, getting really into it. As you're playing, you've traveled around a lot. You sort of know the drill. People in this area tend to be humans, dwarves, dragonborn. You don't really see a lot of like elves or gnomes so much. And you see also this tiefling in the crowd crowd, the inn, sort of staring, and right behind him, a human sort of staring. Some people are kind of not into it. The wait staff is kind of like, but they do have to listen to it. Like,
Yeah, they do.
so I'm gonna go ahead and give you some gold for your performance. So you get 15 gold, just from like tips and everything. It's kind of late at night at this point, because our kegger ran till about 1 a.m. So your performance is probably getting close to wrapping up. It's still pretty lively at the bar, but there's a lot of like loud talking and people like arm wrestling, playing cards, that sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah,
Can I ask what the song's about? Is it like a love ballad or like a?
Oh no, no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't sing about love. So it depends if he's new to the town, like new to performing this tavern. I think he would just do like his greatest hits, right? So once he's been there for a while, he might get a little bit more political and a little bit more like edgy, radical type of stuff. So I take that back. Maybe there would be like a love song.
But you did say ain't talking about love, right? You ain't talking about love. Got it.
Yep.
Or is it like I'm in love with my car? Like which?
It's not like in love with the car. I'm trying to think of like, I'm thinking of that Buzzcock song. If you've ever fallen in love with someone you're not supposed to fall in love with. Right. So it's like heartbreak punk, I guess.
Oh, that is so appropriate.
Yeah.
That is so appropriate. Sentagon is just sitting there like, oh god, this song was written for me.
Oh yeah. Gonzo is the only person who understands what Sentagon's going through. He is his Taylor Swift.
Taylor.
As you two are sort of standing there staring, and Sentagon is like, one of the serving gals comes by and says, "Oh, would you like a seat? You can take whichever one you want."
Who, me?
Oh, both of you. I can show you to a table if you don't know where you want to go.
Oh, I don't mind sharing a table. Do you want to share a table?
Yeah, that's good. Table. Yeah, table. Yeah, let's do that.
Oh,
Food.
there's some open over there. And she points to some that are open and they've been cleaned. There's also some where there's just a couple people sitting there, and then there's some that are pretty crowded. It's indicated by my people.
Cool. Wander over, take a seat, sit down, and look bewildered. Which is a sort of permanent state of affairs for Onsen, is being bewildered.
What can I get for you?
Might be so bold to say as Onsen's in good company, because Sentagon also looks a bit bewildered.
What time of day is it?
Late? It's getting on in the night.
Then could I have a juice of some variety, a spicy juice or something?
Some juice? Okay, I can do juice. And for you?
Do you have anything that lets you keep your wits about you but lets you forget your past?
I don't think so. I can ask around though.
It's fine. I'll just have a water on the rocks, no ice.
So on the rocks means with ice.
Or son, do you mean with a rock? Rock.
Yes.
And water.
That's what I meant. Rock, water. Oh god, on the rocks means with. Okay.
I can put rocks on the side if you're not sure.
It's a tiefling thing.
Okay, I'll just rocks on the side and some juice.
I've seen them do this before. Yeah, definitely cultural tiefling thing.
Well, I don't mean to be insensitive, I guess. I know some people are into that around here, but we try to serve all kinds here. And she'll kind of...
Awesome. Yeah.
go off.
So Onslaught, look over at Sinagongo. Hi.
Hi! Thanks for looking out for me. I had no idea that on the rocks meant ice.
Yeah, well, you don't tend to see too much of it around, I guess. Rocks.
I wondered why
Rock.
people kept giving me ice. I've got really sensitive fangs, and people keep giving me ice. It's because I was asking for it on the rocks.
So, just quick question, there, mate. What did you want it with?
What?
If ice.
I don't know.
the drink.
I just heard people say on the rocks, and I thought it sounded cool.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, no, I get that. Totally understand. Sounding cool is very important. That's why, like I dress the height of fashion that I do. Some people reckon it's not fashionable, and maybe 20 odd years out of date. But I think it's very stylish. It's very cool.
What exactly is Onsen wearing again?
Kind of piratical, fluffy shirt. Think badly done movie pirate. B grade movie pirate, but wrong.
Oh,
But
yeah,
wrong.
it's definitely.
Yeah, so you do it the right way, and you can do it the wrong way.
Is he like
Onson's
a-
the right way.
I'm just straight picturing Tim Curry from Hook now.
Yeah, like pumpkin pants, which were or slops, that sort of thing, but not with boots, with thongs, deck thongs, because basically big sandals that look terrible, big fluffy shirt, loose fitting stuff on a really kind of biggish guy, and terribly tanned, except for the bits where the sunnies and things like that go. So, and the hat, which is round and not tan, though he's got this kind of like tan line running around the head. Yeah, does not look fashionable, but he thinks he is, so that's okay.
Hey, confidence is key.
Yeah.
I mean, you do you. I've never really thought about fashion. It's just extra blotting paper as far as I'm concerned, but, yeah. I mean, I must admit, for the first time, I'm tempted to buy with one of this guy's shirts. Have you ever heard music like this before?
Yeah, once. Or was it the Sounds of Battle? I'm not sure. But
You've never heard
So-
anything like this before.
well, two boats hitting, rending, screeching, tortured people screaming. That sort of thing.
God, it's just like a
Everybody's
reflection of the soul. Suddenly, Syntagon is also a critic. Oh. Yeah, so how did you end up in here?
Oh, I walked. Yeah. From the port. I just quit my job
Oh, good on you!
at the port. And
Oh.
a sailor. Yeah.
Oh.
I was, hence the nautical kind of appearance.
Yeah, as soon as I saw you, I thought, hey, that guy's a sailor. Maybe he's a captain or something.
Oh, I wish. But, no, sadly, nah, not exactly a captain. Kinda. If you flip the captain position around and went, the captain's down here now, then I'd be on top. Yeah.
Oh, wow, the boat drives you?
More, I stood on the deck and hit people who
Crazy.
tried to get on the deck when they shouldn't be on the deck. Yeah.
That's
Anyways,
really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It was fun. Paid bills. Looked after the family. I got this really cool box thing that does some really cool stuff. Yeah, it's good luck. Got to see a lot of things. I can recommend the Navy as long as you don't get killed. You know, that's a bit of a career limiting move. So a lot of people end their career that way. Shame. I would have thought they would have been much better off, like leaving the Navy like I did. You know, whole and alive, rather than dead. But each their own. Everyone's got their sort of particular career aspirations. So maybe they were thinking skeleton or zombie or something like that might be good for a sideways step and then up into management. I don't know. It's beyond my pay grade, really.
I mean, I don't really know about that, but would you say that the Navy is a good place to get away from it all?
Could you define all? If you mean all the land, all the land, yeah, definitely. If you meant all the water, probably not.
What about the people, maybe?
Oh, there's so many people.
Oh,
like, you got this tiny little boat with everybody on it. I mean, like everybody on this really little boat. You kind of sleep like this, but sideways sometimes. So you got to be really friendly. Got to like fellow people because did I mention how small the boats are and how many people are on them?
I think I might have a romanticized view of the Navy.
As you're talking,
Oh no, yeah.
a man approaches your table. Syntagon, you recognize him. He is a middle-aged looking guy. He's got a fairly kind of forgettable face, but he's somehow memorable at the same time. And he's very clearly dressed like a wizard. He has like some sort of marking on him that almost looks religious, but it's no religion you've ever seen before. And he just sort of walks right up and sits down at the table. He motions someone over and he says, a drink for the fellow up on the stage. And are you fellows already taken care of then? And he looks around at you two.
And welcome Arvin Eleron and the Arvanauts. Thank you very much for that raid. Welcome in, everyone. Why is it everyone in this town looks so familiar? Hi! We're good. We've got drinks on the way. Thanks. Who are you?
It's Kent.
Really cool hat.
Oh, thank you. I got it at some point off of someone. He seems like very also confused, same almost bewildered as you two do. And the barmaid comes back and sets your drinks down, and Glonzo, you get a drink delivered from this gentleman sitting at this table as you're putting away your loot or smashing your loot. How are you ending your performance?
I was going to say, he's smashing it at the end.
All right. So at the end of this beautiful song about love, beautiful.
Relatively, if you're into that kind of thing.
It's melodic anyway, haunting a bit. You see, how does it look at the end?
I think he might be a little frustrated that he hasn't gotten a bigger reaction from the crowd. At several points during his performance, he would have tried to get a chant started, right? He would have tried to get the people in the tavern to start chanting glitter guts over and over again. And failing at that, I think that smashing the loot at the end is equal parts like the hell with it and I don't want to play here anyway, and just trying to do something to get a rise out of the people, but he's done.
As you smash your loot into the floor of the tavern or floor of the stage, You see a couple of the dwarves that were cheering you on, like smashing their glasses against the tables, and one of them like flips over a chair.
Yeah. He's gonna pick up his drink and go right to those guys.
To the Smashy Boys or to the guys who got you? Okay.
Smashy Boys.
So you go over and they're all like pretty drunk. They all seem pretty drunk. And one of them's like, "Oh, wonderful performance you did out there. It was so great. The way that you said the things about love, it was just, it touched like in my bones of my chest, very deep." And then I was like, "You're fucking drunk." He's like, "You're drunk. This man is a legend." Legend.
When the guy says you're fucking drunk, Lonzo's like, "We're all fucking drunk."
See, he gets it.
Yeah.
He gets it.
Yep.
So I've never seen you here before. Are you from this city?
Nope. Just on tour, doing like a world tour. I'm thinking this is like my third stop.
Shared stop.
Yeah, I'm just traveling the world. Spreading the music.
See, if I hadn't have gotten married, I could be this guy. I could be traveling.
It's not too late.
Man, I got kids. I don't think I can.
Syntagon is overhearing all this and just thinking, so many things are telling me to just leave, to just travel the world, to run away.
So where's the next stop in the tour?
Wherever I wake up tomorrow.
What? See, when I was a younger man, I can tell you, when you were a younger man, you weren't drunk so much. Shut up! I was younger. I tried to do a tour myself. I did this city, the next city, back to this city, to the next city, and then I woke up in a barrel with no pants and stopped touring.
Sounds like it was a great tour, though.
The next city was a great tour. You need to go to Verton. That is where it's at. And as you guys are sitting pretty close to this conversation, you hear the word Verton, and Onsen, that is actually where you're headed.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Did you just say Vincent?
Yeah.
Or-
So this guy, Verton, is Party City, man. Well, I mean, maybe it was like 20 years ago, but I'm old now. I don't know what's happened to the city. Man, I hope it's still Party City. But you should go there, and if it's not Party City, you should make it Party City.
That's what we're totally gonna do.
Party City, right?
Well, also in Zyron's that, that's where I'm going next. So perhaps we could journey out together. And was it party?
It's like his horns. Yeah.
I mean, do I have to do that, or do I just have to just lean forward a little?
I was this party once. There's tiefling, and put a keg on his head and pulled it off, and two people stood on either side and just drank out of the beer. And he kind of falls off his stool as he's talking.
Glonzo hears that story and immediately looks at Syntagon.
I'm weak.
Onsen will help Zed fallen dwarf back to his chair.
Thank you. You should give Floofy man It's a nice floofy shirt.
Yo, is it? Oh, awesome. See, I
Yeah.
told you I was cool.
This man knows how to wear a good shirt. Buy my friends another round of drinks, and he like just waves to no one in particular, and he drinks like very deeply from his own goblet and kind of like smacks it back down and leans on his buddy and says, "I bet if there was a tiefling city, they would have the best parties."
So Lonzo is convinced that he needs to get to this next place like almost immediately, and he's kind of torn right now between like buying a round for the bar and trying to see like what kind of trouble he can cause here versus going to this place that now in his mind is like I don't know, like the greatest place ever.
I mean, you can do either.
Why not both?
Yeah,
Why not
porque no
both?
estas? Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna take that 15 gold that he earned tonight and splash it and buy a round for everybody.
The barmaid looks equally surprised, thankful, and exhausted as she kind of nods and starts like going and mixing drinks, and there's a guy next to her that's mixing drinks too, and like someone else is pulling taps for everyone, and everyone around the bar. She's and it's turning into like a bit of Party City.
Yeah,
but you
like Party
notice,
City adjacent, like a suburb of Party City.
yeah, like Calle de Fiesta. And you notice at the table that you guys are at, the older guy, not the pirate older guy, but the wizardy guy, is pretty much the only one that is not even seeming to pay attention to what you're doing and seeming to sort of like stare off, calculating into space, which is not really what you would expect someone in a bar to be doing, especially when they're getting free drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, he's got the broody game down. He's broodier than all of us.
I'm not broody. I'm Onson. Since
Onson is like everybody's.
Onson's not drinking either since he doesn't drink. So, well, not booze.
Another round of juice.
Yeah, but he's quite intrigued by this hat and the gentleman underneath the hat. So kind of slowly edge his way closer. Because, you know, he's not dumb, but he's not the smartest guy around, and he's, you know, yeah, his socials are sometimes a little bit lacking. Which is his strength, because, you know, he doesn't really pick up on these things. So he's just going to sit there and go and look and stare and look, and get a bit closer, and stare a bit more, get a bit closer, and stare
He
a bit
can get
more.
pretty close.
Until the guy kind of says something to him.
He can get pretty close. Like, we're talking probably about like to here before the guy kind of seems to like look over, and he says, "Yes."
Hi. You look troubled. Everything all right? You okay? You want to talk about it? You want to express yourself to me, your new friend Onson?
Express
I
myself. Yes. Well, I think I was supposed to die today, but I didn't.
That's probably a good choice on your part.
Did the
Why?
DJ save your life?
Pardon?
Sorry, I'm interrupting.
I think it was you.
Me? I don't understand.
That one, he points to Syntagon. I saw in my crystal ball, of course, when I was scrying into the future, that I would die to a water scorpion that came from the earth, but it didn't happen. And I'm not entirely sure where my life is supposed to go now.
Oh. Why not come with us? If you're dead already. Although you don't look dead, but...
I do have an extra hand, and he pulls out a severed elf hand from his coat pocket, ? I'm pretty sure it's fairly dead. But other than that, no, I'm pretty sure I'm mostly alive. Strangely.
Okay, that seems quite fair. In terms of, being alive, a hand that looks pretty, not alive.
It looked much less alive when we found it.
Was it attached to anyone in particular? Did they
Only
miss it?
keys? I don't think we have the keys anymore, though. Pretty sure some young fella ran off with them. Little cat man.
But
No, I
sensitive. He's
haven't seen any catman with keys or lacking limbs recently. Although lacking limbs is something that happens quite a lot in my profession, of course. But yeah, if you're supposedly dead but not dead, this causes a bit of a conundrum, but I don't know how to help. So why don't you come with us? And then you can kind of talk about it on the road, and you can tell us what's going on and in your life or on life or soon to be on life or whatever permutation of all of that there is. It gets a little bit confusing, really. And then when we get to the party city, that might be all kind of resolved or something. Or at least you've been in a nice place.
Maybe I'll just not wake up tomorrow.
Oh,
Why
God.
would you do that? Why would you want to do that, though?
Well, it's not that I want to, but when fate calls, you must answer. And if I was fated to die, but didn't, maybe I'm still fated to.
Personally, look, I think you're a nice guy. I like your outfit and your hat and sort of the words you use. Some of them I don't particularly understand, but I'm kind of taking a shine to you. I think you're kind of a nice fella. Look, if fate calls, just don't answer. Sorry, fate, I'm out today. Could you come back tomorrow? Speak to my secretary or my personal assistant or something.
Gonzo is writing all of this down. He is all in on this. I thought I was supposed to die today train. He is all in. The hand, he's writing down Anson's dad wisdom. and
The lyrics of elders.
Ballad, right? Screeching power ballad material.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
Well, when are you planning on leaving for Party City?
We are turning to Syndicate. There was a plan. You had a plan, young man. The plan, Party City. You were talking about leaving and going. So, when's your plan for leaving?
Well, I was kind of thinking of getting on maybe one of the boats or something, but that was before Ken came because I was trying to run away from him because he was at the party that I was at, and I'm not really sure about going to a party city because I just came from a party, and the party was kind of really scary.
Syntagon.
There were lobsters coming out of the floor. I wasn't high, I'm fairly sure.
Ken kind of smiles at you like a dad would on finding that his son has been to his first party and had a different time than he thought, and says, "Oh, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Sometimes things get scary." I mean, you saw my second floor.
That sounds like such a euphemism, but it means something so dark.
Things are scary.
Especially
The
when you
world is a
whisper the
scary
corpse
place.
floor.
Well, yes, but, all in the name of trying to help, I guess.
Why are you trying to help?
The world has to be made right. Doesn't it?
Sentinel just puts his head on the desk.
Yes. How do we do that? That's what I've been trying to do all my life. Make things good, and nice and happy. So how do we do that? I'm just at a bit of a loss here as to what.
I'm not sure. I did what I was, what I saw myself doing, I have accomplished, and now I'm not sure, what the next step is. I have never felt so off kilter, I suppose the word would be. Maybe it is right. We should go to the next city and we can see what there is to see. He kind of nods slowly. Maybe catch a cart there. We might be a little more safe and we can sleep on the way.
Yeah, let's do that. Or just a quick comment. How far away is it in terms of travel time?
Oh, it's probably about a day by carriage. Walking depends on how fast you are, how many stops you make.
Oh, carriage sounds good. Could we get one of those in the morning?
Yes, I'm sure we could.
Are we
need one
agreed?
right now.
Party town. Oh, could we leave now?
Why not?
Do we have to walk?
Let's go. Let's throw caution to the wind. Let's just do it. Yeah.
Because, I got nothing against walking. Just on a boat, there's not a real long distance you can walk. So it's kind of 20 paces that way, 20 paces that way, 20 paces that way, and you kind of rinse and repeat, right? So I'm just a bit worried that I myself personally might not be very good at this walking business.
We'll get you a horse. There's plenty of horses around. I saw a ton coming in.
It's a big city. They might have an all-night carriage.
Utter terror on Onson's face at the mention of horse.
Did a horse wrong you, sir?
You mean get on top of a thing that has its own brain and let it take you somewhere out of your control? And Onson is completely oblivious to the hypocrisy of being a Navy guy on a boat and a horse here.
I'm imagining a horse with like a curly Q mustache, turned up, like an evil horse who did Onson wrong at some point, stole his land.
Sitting back on his haunches, hoof twiddling the mustache.
Mr. Byrne.
Excellent.
No, he's just doesn't get horses. Yeah, it's kind of weird. So he's a little bit freaked, and kind of doing that pushing back from the table kind of thing, because genuinely concerned, never having been on a horse before, and yeah,
Hey,
willing to give it a go, But yeah, he's just a little bit.
Hey, it's quite good. Last time I was on a horse, it was full of muffins that you could eat.
The cart, the horse was not full. Well, I'm imagining the horse ate quite a few muffins. Was a good horse.
I don't understand any of those. I understand the words, but not the sentence.
There's a lot of that going around, man. There's a lot of that going around.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Syntagon is going to vainly try and explain. You kind of put your hand in the wooden bit of the horse, and then you pull out muffins, and you can eat them. They taste sweet.
Okay, cool. Let's do that. Edible muffin horses. Onson's now thinking maybe what he thinks is a horse is not a horse. And much like, on the rocks, he's just heard the wrong thing somewhere along the line, and a thing that you get on and ride is clearly not a horse. That's where, he's convinced that must be what
the slang of the youth has changed in the time away.
Kids these days and their horses and their muffins.
They're wooden horse muffins.
Clearly understood what an actual horse is. The thing that people ride on is clearly something different. So yeah, Onson's made that. He's figured it out. He's quite happy with himself now. Not dealing with horses. Horses have muffins in them. They're a different thing entirely. Cool. No worries. We're all happy.
Well, all right then. I can try to find some horses or a cart, or maybe we all go together.
Yeah, let's do that. That seems sensible. I would like that. It's good. I like the idea of traveling with people. People are nice. I like people.
People are interesting.
Oh yes, very, very. Like I learned some new stuff today. I learned some music, and met some new people. People are great. I love this. Let's go together. That'd be nice.
All right. And he'll kind of finish the drink he's drinking. It looks suspiciously something like an appletini. And he'll get the one that Glonzo got for the bar as well and drink that. And kind of... Shall we then?
Yeah, lead on. I'll follow you.
He stands up and brushes, flourishes out his wizard cloak, kind of, and looks around. Almost hesitantly.
We should try to avoid the cops still.
Everyone make me a perception roll.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
18.
Okay.
Did that straight up?
Yes, the 4.
Mm-hmm.
So two of you are getting up and pushing your chairs in and not really paying attention, but Glonzo, as the wizard kind of stops, you see him, his eyes sort of glaze over a little bit, and you hear him murder. Yes, of course. So, we'll find a cart then. And he will walk towards the door.
Go!
Yeah, he's not smart enough to register anything from that.
So you leave the tavern, and you begin searching for your cart and horse. So you walk into the night, and There are some cops out and about, so I'm going to ask you all to also roll me a stealth check to not be noticed by them.
And Syntagon would impress on his friends as well. Like, look, we're not necessarily on good terms with the police, so maybe we could try and lay low a little.
18.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so good at stealth. Oh, I'm actually not bad.
Not bad. So the cops, as they're making their rounds, don't notice Kent at all. They don't notice Gonzo. They do sort of seem to like register Syntagon, but in sort of like a they almost look at you and keep going sort of way. And a couple of them definitely notice this billowy pirate figure, but that might be why they're not looking at Syntagon, because they start and then they see this pirate and they're like, what is he wearing? And you manage to continue through the city, not really stopped. Every so often, Kent will kind of stop and look around at some buildings and some signs, and then take you on further some. And finally, you reach what is clearly some sort of stables, and there's a torch burning outside.
Roll by cat. Sorry about that.
I was like, well, his religious symbol on his tabard is fake. He's definitely not a real god. And it seems to have been painted on himself. Like, it's not super professional. So that's what your cat learns. He kind of pauses and looks in, and he turns to everybody and says, what exactly is our budget for this adventure?
Ooh.
Gerbil.
Why are you asking me?
Gerbil, that's the wrong character. Syntagon looks at his empty pocket.
I have coins, but I never really. That's the captain's job, and kind of you're wearing the captain's hat.
Oh, I should foot the bill then. He kind of pauses. Roll me a persuasion.
Persuasion.
Kind of pauses and he's like, I suppose, I mean, I am quite powerful. I do have quite a bit of coin.
And the captain's hat.
And the hat, of course. He kind of nods. Yes, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'll go in and negotiate then for us. And he walks through the door to go inside.
I'll tell you the other thing. I like this new captain. He's pretty good. He's doing the job pretty well. That's what captains do. They pay for stuff and arrange things like carts and boats and stuff. So he could work. He sort of leans back. He's quite pleased with himself for finding a new captain this early on in his non-Navy career.
While this is going on, Galanzo's in the process of trying to steal a horse.
Okay. You will have to get into the paddock and try to get the animal. So if you want to go ahead and roll me, are you trying to be sneaky and do this?
Oh yeah, yep.
Okay, so it's gonna be a stealth to be sneaky, and then sleight of hand to get the lock picked, and then animal handling to get the horse to cooperate.
All right, so we'll start with stealth.
Okay.
15.
Okay.
And then sleight of hand. 9. So I'm guessing that's a no.
Okay. You don't get it open. The horse sees you and starts to kind of like get kind of agitated. You can
Okay.
roll an animal handling to get him to quiet down, or you can just sort of.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's gonna try to talk down the horse.
Okay.
I got a 6.
Okay. So as
Be cool.
the horse seems to scream as much as a horse can. It's like and like just the loudest horsey noise you've ever heard. And I hope that doesn't get clipped. And
You heard it, chat.
And-
Go.
and a probably sleepy head kind of pokes out of one of the other stalls. They're wearing almost like a burqa, and you hear a feminine voice say, "Hey, what are you doing?"
He's just frozen like deer in the headlights.
Hello, you're not invisible.
He says, I heard your horse was yelling, and I was just trying to just like be cool, horse, like be cool.
I don't think you're supposed to be where the horses are.
Oh, I'm not. Oh,
Kind
well,
of like stands her full height and starts brushing some straw off of her and starts walking towards you.
he is backpedaling in time with her, so like she takes a step forward and he's like keeping yep uh-huh
So she kind of like, after you like take like 3 steps, she kind of stops and puts her hands up and says, it's okay, just gonna talk to the horse. And she like takes a couple more steps forward and like sort of side-eyeing you, like starts, trying to calm the horse down. Let's see how she does. She does okay. You can tell that like it's probably not her first nature. Like she's no druid or anything like that, but she seems to know the horse. The horse responds well to her.
okay.
Are you a horse enthusiast then?
Amateur. They're beautiful creatures. Just I just amateur though. Just learning about horses.
She kind of stifles a yawn and says, they're quite magnificent creatures. I think all creatures can be quite magnificent, though.
Yeah, absolutely magnificent, beautiful. Just I don't even have the words.
Yes. Are you wanting to ride tonight? Or are you taking a cart?
So how quickly would he abandon the people he's just met? I have to think pretty quickly. So how to pitch it? Yeah, I'm trying to get to. I've got a gig. I've got a place to be. Tomorrow, and he would have forgotten, like I have forgotten, the real name of Party City, and so he's really now just trying to like get some time here. I think, like buy some time for himself.
So you're stalling.
Yeah. Until like an obvious, because he wasn't expecting anybody to be in there, and he's not good being caught red-handed.
She kind of like tilts her head and she kind of laughs a little bit and says, just wanting to look at them before you take one, then. Of course, paying for it and everything.
Oh, of course.
Yes,
Yeah.
to go to your gig at the next city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Are you-
some captain is taking care of this now. I don't know. I'm just
You're a sailor. She kind of
no,
like
but there's no. He does not look like a sailor at all. He does not have the build. He does not have the appearance. If there's possible to be like the opposite of what Anson looks like he is that.
Mhm.
What fashionable?
the opposite of fashionable.
Yeah. I'm just laughing at the idea of this because I think he's got like a mohawk and like a bunch of like piercings in his face, and being accused of him being a sailor is not on brand. It's not on the Glitter Guts brand.
Is your captain is renting horses or a cart today? She yawns again.
I think he's in there to try to get a cart, but just talking prices. I don't know, that stuff is too complicated for me.
Of course. Well, and she like tentatively takes a step towards you to see if you step back.
I think he would hold his ground.
She'll take another couple steps and extend a hand out to you. And she says, I actually drive the cart, so it looks like we'll be spending some time together.
He would take her hand.
It's a pleasure to meet you. You can call me Kay.
Glonzo. Glitter
That's a
Guts.
very-
Maybe you've heard of me.
Yes, I think I've heard something of you. Roll an insight check. Roll a really low insight check.
I got an 8.
That's fine. That still is better than I rolled. So, you can tell that she has not heard of you at all, but she's being polite and just being like, "Oh yeah."
It's not the first time that's happened to him, and it's like water off a duck's back. Like honestly, he is gonna make it his mission, I think, in the next however long it takes to travel, to convert everybody to be a fan.
All of your friends to be a fan.
Yeah, yep. He's got this new entourage.
Groupies.
Yeah,
The groupie gang.
yeah, a weird group of roadies, I think. But hey, it's punk.
After she shakes your hand, she says, I'll start hitching up the cart. I'm sure that you'll have no problem getting a deal. Most people don't want rides this late, and I think there was something going on somewhere in the middle of the city, and I don't think people are leaving very much today.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just passing through town.
All right. Well, I'll make sure this horse gets hooked up. He seems to like you. And she pats the big schnoz again. And she'll start kind of shuffling around, and she opens some of the padlocks and pulls some of the horses up and just starts like taking them around to where she had emerged from, where you assume a cart is.
Okay.
And back over to our other two. Kent seems to be gone kind of a while as he's inside, just sort of leaving you two chilling. At some point, you realize that Galonzo is no longer with you, but
Well, Onson's kind of used to staring out over very, very, very boring vistas for a very long time. So, hey, this is just like work. So he's quite happy to just stand and look and be with his own thought. He doesn't have thoughts as such, not really that pay grade for him to have thoughts. He just has thought. It's dark.
Syntagon is probably like half hiding behind a barrel or a bush or something. Like every time a guardsman like comes near, he's just like, oh. What? So, Captain Kent, where are we going?
As Kent comes back out, he sort of like bounces the coin purse and ties it to his belt, and he says, "We're going to Verton. I've gotten us a cart. They say it should be about a day's journey. I figure we can sleep for a bit and, I don't know, play cards or something."
Your entertainment is taken care of for the journey. Don't worry about that.
Right. We will be exposed more to the singular musical tastes of Mr. Glitterguts.
What type of cards do we have?
Pardon?
Is it like a carriage type thing or an open cart?
I believe it's more of the carriage type of thing. It was quite pricey for what it is.
Oh, cool. Oh, nice.
Well, of course, we must arrive in style.
Yeah, Onsen clearly has no clue what's going on here. He's just like, yeah, awesome, great, that's great. Thanks, Captain. And sort of goes back to his thought. It's dark.
He kind of nods a little bit and says, "They say that the cart would be right around here," and gestures to where Galonzo had just been. And he walks around, and you all can see it's like a covered carriage. It looks pretty spacious, pretty nice, bigger than the muffin cart, if you can believe that. And there are two horses, like sturdy boys, hooked up to the front of it. One of them was the one that Galonzo just terrified and screamed real loud. And there is a figure that's dressed head to toe in black, who is holding the reins.
Does it happen to be Mr. Cash? Man in black?
No, you can't tell who or what it might be.
We might have some musical indifference going on here.
Welcome.
Hello. I'm Onsen. Onsen proceeds to look at the cart and then start climbing up on top.
Okay, so the inside of the cart has a couple beds, or benches or beds. They can really be used either way. They're like chaise.
Shea Lounge.
Yeah. I read more than I listen to people. So they're kind of like those on either side, and then there's like some like big pillow type cushion type things thrown about, and on the top there's like rails that you can maybe lash luggage to if you had any.
Yeah, Onsen's just going to climb up there, throw his kit, and pull out his bedroll. This is just kind of like home. Looks very similar, very familiar. So, he's up there. He's quite happy.
So you're on the roof of the carriage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just rolling out bedroll. Typical, sailor stuff. Getting ready for what would be a night's watch.
The figure kind of turns up to you and says, "If you're planning to sleep up there, you might want to tie yourself to one of the rails just in case. I've heard
he's already on it. Yeah.
I've heard there's some potentially dangerous things out there."
Awesome.
What kind of dangers?
Just earthy problems, sinkholes, things like that. I only usually drive the cart around the village, or the city, but last time I was out, there wasn't anything too scary. Don't worry, though. I can protect you. And the figure kind of nods.
Well, Onsen's very happy. This is a familiar thing to him. So yeah, he's just getting prepped. You know, as a former ship's marine. This is ideal. It's going to move the way the Earth should move. You know, from side to side. He's all of a sudden really happy about this situation. Bit concerned about the animal things at the front that he's not aware of really what they're called. Clearly not horses, because it's established that that's a different beast entirely that contains muffins. So he's keeping an eye on them, but otherwise he's really happy.
And Galonzo Centagon, are you going inside or?
Centagon will sort of like walk past and sort of like flick his hair over his face, trying to hide himself.
As you do that, the figure kind of like notices and turns towards you and says, "I like your hair."
You do? Centagon has panic again. Possibly thinking that he's already in a triangle, he can't afford to make it a square, and just runs into the carriage.
She smiles
words,
as Glonzo goes past and says, "I hope you'll be performing in the morning."
We can perform anytime.
Fresh. She kind of laughs a little, and she says, "We'll see." And once you all are inside or on top of, she flicks the reins and you begin your travels. Baby, I need to see if they're gonna die tonight. Hang on. Are they gonna die tonight?
That's one of Glonzo's titles, isn't it?
Okay. So as you continue on through the night, it seems to pass without incident. Your cart driver is perfectly fine, just carrying on. She doesn't stop the cart. She doesn't ask to stop the cart unless someone asks her to. I assume that you guys are like sleeping and stuff.
Yeah, that'll definitely be Centagon's plan. He's gonna just try and nervously go to sleep as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. You're able to sleep. The cart is a little bouncy, but she knows what she's doing. And the dawn starts rising after many, many hours. And you all wake up to sunlight streaming through the carriage windows, doors, or through your eyeballs if you're lashed to the roof.
Cool.
Lonzo is trying to like ride on the side of the carriage, with like one arm hooked through, kind of similar to like a kid, I think would, just loving life right now. Livin.
She seems to be driving at a pretty good pace. Like the wind is going in your face, and and you seem to be making really good time. You notice that Kent is awake before the rest of you and is just sort of sitting on a pillow on the floor of the carriage and kind of just sort of staring out the window, watching the maybe you can't sit there. Watching the rest of the scenery go by, and you're able to kind of like open the door and kind of hang off of it, and it's pretty fun. You're seeing a lot of rocky, like mountainside go by. It's not really countryside. But you're sort of carting through a mountainous region. Still seems to be going pretty smoothly though. The rest of you can see this as well from looking
Mhm.
with your eyeballs around at things.
No, I'm just going to try and get as much sleep as possible if it's quiet. So, yeah.
There's birds and the normal things, but it's overall pretty quiet.
It's not going to be quiet for much longer.
It's overall quiet so far.
Yeah.
Since
No, he was
definitely-
asked. He was asked to play. So man's gonna play.
Syntagon's definitely restoring them spell slots for as long as he can.
So Glonzo, make me a performance roll and let us know what we wake up to in the morning. The dulcet sounds
The dulcet sounds. Some sort of Misfits cover.
of punk rock.
Yep. 15.
I really kind of want to just have like a percentile also that's like a range from like alt rock to like screamo. Like
I was, this afternoon I was thinking like he needs like a glam band, like arch nemesis, right? Like some 80s rock guy with like the feathered hair out and a cape. But I don't know who that is yet. But I can make a percentile for you. 38.
Okay, so it's probably very solidly like alt to regular rock. It's not really super hard.
Yeah, it's like one of those Cure songs that gets played on the radio.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's a pretty solid performance. There are a couple times where like you might sort of mumble through the lyrics because there are some that they kind of mumble through, and you're pretty sure nobody notices. They don't know how the song's supposed to go anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, like that fisherman band, Fallout Koi Carp.
So close to landing the joke. You're so close.
But it led to that lovely landing joke afterwards, which is great.
As you play your Fallout Carp music, everyone else wakes up and you notice that like the cart driver kind of like maneuvers the reins around a little, and it's almost like the horses are like stepping in a tempo to what you're playing. It's definitely not like the tempo you're playing, but like it's somewhere in like the paradiddles or something. They're stepping along. She calls back, "Would anybody like to stop for breakfast, or would you like to press on? We're making very good time."
Glonzo's fine with just continuing on.
Syntagon-
Yep, same.
Syntagon will look out the window for any potential hooks. I mean, plot devices. I mean, things of interest.
Roll me a perception.
Sure.
Nice. So, girl, you're killing me. So as you're going along, and you look out the window, you can see there's some trees, but they all seem to be dead. This is not fall. This is not winter. They're pretty sparse, but you definitely start noticing as you're going by that every single tree that you're passing is dead. And as you continue to kind of like, "I'm gonna kill you, Jesus." My cat is like trying to scale my leg. As you are continuing to look out, you notice almost alongside the cart, keeping pace, seems to be almost a shockwave that's going kind of almost a ripple along the ground. Not exactly like you saw before when the water scorpion lobster horrors were coming out, but something where the ground was moving like that, where there's just sort of like something that might be traveling alongside you.
And does it look like it's moving as though it's moving with the car, or could this be coincidence? Is it moving maybe faster or slower?
It seems to be moving in the same direction at roughly the same speed.
I don't think we should stop. I think we should just keep going.
Okay, that's fine.
Does anyone know anything about strange bulges beneath the ground?
As you say strange bulges, you hear a snort from the driver's seat.
Also from the guy like waving off to the side of the beneath the ground. No.
Onson's on the roof. He's asleep. So probably would not hear any of this anyway.
I'm fairly sure we have a strange bulge. I can see it out the window.
More snickering from the front seat.
Impressive.
Kent kind of stands up and squints out the window. Roll me at either perception or insight.
This is never happening again. Treasure it.
I know. I mean, I'm hype. As Kent looks out the window, you see something that looks like recognition, surprise, and then dread quickly pass over his face. And then he seems to sort of compose himself, and he sits back down where he was.
Yeah, that's how I felt after I saw the bulge too.
I think maybe we should stop and see if it stops also, or approaches, or continues on. We could always giddy up on the horses, if that's the correct terminology, or go back if it seems to behave erratically.
Should I ready some really destructive spells just in case?
He kind of nods a little and says, "It couldn't hurt, but I wouldn't prematurely fling anything at the bulge."
Okay, so try not to do anything prematurely when dealing with the bulge. Got it.
Right, you have to wait until we know for sure whether it's, coming up or not.
Okay, I'll get slow, steady, as well as fireball, just in case.
He kind of nods and he kind of cracks his fingers and says, "I will prepare myself as well." And he seems to sort of take a stance. And he kind of nods over to Glonzo. "If you have something ranged, I would prepare it just in case."
Yeah. I think at this point, Glonzo sees what's going on and is adopting a much more serious tone.
He kind of, "Ma'am, could you stop the cart for a moment?" And she kind of pulls back, and you all feel the cart kind of slow to a stop. As it kind of almost lurches to a stop, Onsen, you would wake up probably with that, because you're definitely used to the motion, but when it stops, it's like running aground. That's go time.
Yeah, he's as soon as he feels that sort of stuff, he'll start getting himself untied and sort of not aware that there's anything going on, but we're stopping. So hey,
go ahead and roll me either an insight or perception as you sort of look around as you're untying yourself.
Okay, both are rather tragic, so let's go with insight.
Okay. So you see that we've stopped, and you kind of look to the driver as you're untying, and she seems to be staring off at something. And as you sort of follow the gaze, you can see this sort of ripple bulge area going across the land.
That, I'm assuming, is not normal.
No,
the old Watson from the roof.
That's definitely not normal. And as you all sort of stand at the ready with your implements out or your fingers at the ready. I'm so sorry for that sentence. You see this area continue on past you as you're stopped. And Syntagon, as you're still sort of looking to Kent for some sort of sign, you see a smile kind of flash across his face. And he says, well, I suppose it's moved on and coincidental. Perhaps we should get some breakfast now that we've stopped.
Captain, one question.
Yes.
What was that?
Well, I'm not sure. I have some ideas, but it seems to not care about us or want to get us, so live and let live.
Like, I spend a lot of time on the water, and generally when something's coming along with you, right, here we are, here's us, and there's it, and it keeps on going. Generally what they do is that they then turn around and then hit you from this side. So we should be looking at that side, the side that it wasn't on.
Syntagon runs to the other window. Oh, God!
Just in case, right? And Onson's kind of thinking this is probably a good pike moment, big, long, pointy stick kind of moment.
You hear from the front, well, what if its aim is to come from the front of us?
Then we're looking the wrong way, aren't we?
Oh, goodness.
Looking at the size of that thing, we're going to need a bigger cart.
She laughs. Everyone laughs. The cart laughs. I'm just kidding. As she kind of laughs and she says, I'm sure we'll be more than capable of handling whatever it is. I'm a very skilled driver.
Cool. Well, Onson's getting himself ready for what he knows, which is hitting things whilst he's standing on an unstable surface. This is the job. So he's
these are the times.
Yep. So this is his normal. So he's quite happy with this. No fear, no worries. Getting ready, just in case.
Should we press on then?
Yes, we should.
She nods and a bit fast, I think. And you guys start clipping along pretty fast. Where before it had been definitely steady and faster than you'd think it would be. It's not sprinting, but it's definitely faster than might be comfortable. You're kind of like bouncing a little uncomfortably on your cushions. It's well padded enough that it doesn't like hurt you, but it's not pleasant. This is not a fun ride any longer. And you continue going on, and she's taking the cart around some kind of big rocks, and I'm going to need those of us who are keeping an eye out to roll me some perception checks.
Okay. Defo.
My streak's broken. Oh, wow.
I rolled a 21.
Okay. So as she's keeping an eye out on the front, and we have Syntagon on the side where we haven't seen it yet, and we have Glonzo on the side we have seen it. We have Onsen up top, sort of like all around. Glonzo, you're noticing what Syntagon had noticed, where all of the plant life seems to be dead. You're also seeing very few animals. You've seen maybe like a rock squirrel, I know it's not a real thing, but we can pretend it is. It's a squirrel that eats rocks. But that's about it. That's all you've really seen. And then from up top, you're kind of looking all around, and you see off in the distance some dust kind of rising up, maybe like a dust storm type scenario, but it doesn't, you're not seeing any sign of the return of the bulge. You called it the bulge. You can't make that face at me.
Gonzo's starting to wonder if this is really going to be a party.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. Real talk on it.
I mean, well, party is a noun, isn't it? It's not a verb, so I mean, I guess by definition we're a party.
It ends up being probably about 2 in the afternoon as you guys are all on high alert, and you're sort of relaxing the alert a little bit because you haven't seen this thing anymore. When you come to what seems to be you're going along, and it's kind of rocky, mountainous, like you can see slopes kind of off that way, but the path you're on seems to be pretty fine and straight. There's some things kind of growing off to the side, and you reach a point where there is almost a sheer just drop down, and your driver pulls the horses, and the cart kind of skids to a stop sideways, and Glonzo and sorry, I'm dying, and Onsen, you are on the side that's facing the cliff, sheer drop. Everybody roll me a dex saving throw.
Oh God.
A 10.
I'm so great at dex saving throws.
I have to roll for both my homies. Need to remember how to. Okay, so as it, you said you rolled a 10, Galonzo?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So as it sort of like turns and skids, Syntagon kind of goes flying a little bit across, but Kent is able to kind of like grab him and stabilize him. You, who have been like kind of leaning out this door, the door comes unclosed, open, some might say. The door comes unclosed.
It's bad. That's how bad this is. That's
Woo!
how bad it is. The door was unopened, and then it became unclosed.
Exactly. That's English. I got a degree, so I can make up words like unclosed.
Yeah, for sure.
So it comes unclosed, and and it swings open, and you feel yourself falling, and you feel something grab onto the back of your cloak, and pull you back, and you're sitting in the driver's seat, almost in the lap of this person who has been pulling you along, as she kind of pulls you back and puts like almost an arm around you, and you see the door kind of smack against the side. Onsen, you're fine. It's definitely like you feel the jolt, but you react quick enough to stop yourself. Centagon, Kent saved you.
Whoa! Thanks! I knew you cared.
Of course. Us wizards, we have to stick together, right? I mean, cleric and wizard, we have to stick together, right? And he kind of like laughs awkwardly.
Sure. Insight check.
Honey. Who's the best kitty in the world?
Gee, Kent, you're the best cleric I've ever seen.
Even with unless you critically failed it, you can remember back to when you thought Kent was in a cleric's tower. Back 6,000 years ago.
Yes, when the earth was young.
Yes, when Syntagon was pure. Before he remembered girls exist.
Poor guy.
Yeah, he's just trying, man. He's just trying. So you're looking out into this this big hole. Is anybody looking into the hole? Stop. Put that face away.
Yep. Why not?
So you sort of lean forward, and the woman lets you go, and
you would give Kay like thanks for saving him.
Of course, you're my responsibility. She kind of like laughs and goes to like move hair out of the way, but is clearly wearing like the whole get up, so it doesn't really work, and just sort of goes like and as you look down, there's a city at the bottom of this hole.
Is there any like obvious way to get down there, or is it like the whole place just caved in, or like collapsed?
Make me a survival. Let's get crazy. Let's do survival. Let's survive this, guys.
Just like looking at the hole, are the walls like flat, or are they tapered as if the city might have shrunk?
They're pretty flat. It doesn't look like it was like a cutout, like it's not like it's a cylinder that is but there's some amount of tapering, but there's also some amount of flaring. It's not like a, solid straight shot.
Onsen will lean over and so, Captain, or indeed anyone, pointing down at the hole, is it supposed to be like that?
The Captain Kent kind of looks over and closes his eyes and frowns and just sort of shakes his head and says, I've never been. And the woman who's sitting next to Glonzo leans over and says, I don't remember it being like this.
Me either. Last time, it was some time ago, but I don't recall it being so sunken. But I've been away for a while.
Maybe that's an earthquake or something. And Kent says, maybe it had to do with all of the Earth Genasi problems.
Oh, I did hear something about that. Don't know what it was, but there's some weird stuff happening with our elemental friends.
Yes, I was taking them apart. Your cat is closing your door. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he does that. One of many. They have many talents. Puking is one of them. Fighting and door closing. One sec.
And Kent says, "Yes, I was studying them back in my tower, and they seem to be being combined with one another in strange fashions, and really the water things that should have killed me." And he sort of like touches his neck uncertainly.
Right. So, when you say combining, what do you mean by combining? Do you actually mean hello, smush, or something else? Because I don't know.
We kind of had to do an exorcism to pull one out of one of our friends.
No, I haven't got you.
Yep. So it was like someone else was in their body for a day, and then we had to do the exorcism, and then Puck came back. But it was really weird because they kind of looked a bit like you know the funny things that you see in the little thing, and they have the sticks, and they like, wow, you very naughty boy, wah.
Like a marionette.
Like a marionette.
No. Completely lost. Could you maybe, I don't know, explain it slightly more, smaller words, bigger pictures?
All right, let's think of this like a boat. What if you took one boat and put it inside another boat, and the only way to get the boat out of the boat was to use some sort of magical hoover to suck it out through the bow? Hoover's a brand that doesn't exist.
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, great.
100%. Yeah, right, cool. Because, weirdly enough, when I was on the boat, I had a boat that fit inside the boat. And inside the little boat that I had was a bottle with another boat inside it. Boatception.
Oh my god. Ah!
Alonzo, what was your survivor roll?
An 8.
Oof.
Yeah.
You do not see a way down
Yeah,
here.
I know. I figured I was just hoping we would just
Gloss over it.
Yeah, nope.
You can tell everyone else you don't see a way down.
Yeah, I don't see a way down, guys. I mean, other than just straight down.
If anyone
So I
else
guess
would like to roll a
way down.
survival, you have a bad idea of how to get down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But you have an idea.
The fast way down is not the preferable one. Thank you very much. I appreciate the offer, but no.
Shortest distance between 2 points and all that.
Just the
Yeah.
horses can just leap and try to hit the middle of it.
Yep. Yeah,
How
surely
about
there's a
that?
trampoline or a cushion down there.
In fact, near, just a little sidestep, near where I live, there's a place called Govert's Leap, which is called Govert's Leap because one of the early explorers was hooning along full tilt on his horse and didn't see the gorge in front of him, and he survived. Horse didn't, sadly. Poor horse.
Hmm.
I was not
But
expecting that
that's
ending.
Govert's Leap. There you go. A little bit of Australian history for you, as just a slight interlude. Whilst we try to figure out how the hell to get down into the pit of darkness.
Yeah, if you the other two of you can roll survival if you'd like.
Syntagon will not roll survival. Instead, he's flicking through his spell book and goes, I think I can get us down there! Or at least, I can get 5 of us down there!
There's 5 of you, if you count the cart maid.
Alright, I'm just trying to do a little bit of maths. I have this spell that lets you fall real slow. But it only lasts for a minute. And I'm not sure what speed you would fall at Featherfall. I'm not sure if you could fall like 5 feet in a minute or 500 feet in a minute. So we might want to like jump at full speed and then maybe maybe once we start getting close, then we do it. Cause you know.
Yeah, why not? Okay, sounds like a plan. I'm up for that. Why not? You seem like a nice kind of kid, trustworthy. So I'll do it.
All right,
That's
because
what we're
it's important that we all do it together.
Oh, you weren't asking for a test subject. Okay. That's normally what happens to me that day. Onsen, you volunteered for this thing. And I go, oh, really? Did I? I don't remember doing that. But okay, sure. And then I'd with the stabbing and the blood and the stuff. Okay, cool. I understand now, I think.
I think if we all just, like, run at it, kind of like those little vole lemming things, and then... Just before we splat! Oh, whoop.
What does Kent think about this plan?
Kent is kind of looking between Syntagon and the hole, and kind of nodding, and kind of looking back and kind of nodding, and he says, I think it could work. Maybe. And he kind of like holds out his arms in the typical like link arms kind of.
Yeah, that could work. Hang on a minute, I found something about speed. I can fall about 60 feet per 6 seconds. 6 seconds or less a minute. 600 feet. 600 feet!
It is less than 600 feet.
Oh, I can just cast it here and we can just fall slowly. This will be fine. And they'll cast Featherfall.
Okay. So, as you all kind of charge at the side, and technically your first inch that you start falling, Syntagon's spell goes off, and instead of splatting, you kind of gently kind of start falling down, down, down. And as you get closer to the city, roll me investigation.
But I'd say that the entire time that they were going down, Glonzo was acting like a fool and like posing in different ways to try to show off. For anybody in particular, but I think especially probably Kay.
Mm-hmm. She's definitely noticing.
Relief all over Syntagon.
Man, I can't roll tonight. 9 on that investigation.
Just, yeah, okay. Not bad, the office. This is, nothing unusual. Jumping off.
It's a town. You're kind of more preoccupied with like trying to figure out where you're gonna like land exactly. As you're falling down, like probably not on top of people, not on top of a building. Y'all don't really notice much of interest about the town as you're falling down. You can see just from having eyeballs that it is not a big city like the last one was, but there still seem to be people kind of darting about. Like I said, it's mid-afternoon by this point, so people are ooting a boot, and there seem to be like a couple taverns and like some shops and stuff like that. And you slowly drift down, and you land in. Pardon?
So I was just going to ask, is there, if we can see as we come down, can I spot anything that looks like uniforms or that sort of thing?
As you're coming down, make me a perception.
Perception.
Okay, yeah, you could see some uniformed folks. They don't seem to necessarily be wearing like. You've been to this town before. You're from this town. Your family's from this town. It's definitely more of a town guard situation and less of like the Valcognon like country police task force or whatever. It's just sort of like the local kind of guard. And there's only like one or two that are anywhere in the city that you can see.
And existing in a great big hole in the ground was not the state it was
When you
before.
left, no. Mm-mm.
No. Okay. So that's kind of where Onson's a little bit confused, more confused than normal, and is kind of swimming through Featherfall trying to find the easiest way to get to said city guard person to A, inquire as to why they decided to put themselves in a hole in the ground, and B, maybe there should be some city ordinance or something around maybe putting a sign at the top, because this seems to be a very inconvenient way to get into said town, and have they seen any of my family recently?
So you're able to sort of, as you're looking and seeing where he is, you can find a way to get there pretty quickly. And you kind of swim float down and you swim float down and you all of you land pretty gently on what is road. It's sort of cobblestone together.
Cool. Well, searching for said city guard, town guard guy, vaguely official looking personage, to further one's inquiries as to state of said town being at the bottom of the dirty great big hole.
You definitely found like the fastest way to get there. So are you telling everyone else what you're up to? Or you just sprinting off?
Yeah. Hi. Hello, everybody. Pay attention to Onsen for a bit. I know that's kind of difficult, seeing as it's a bit weird with the entire hole in the ground situation. But this is where my family lives, so I need to find them and give wife and other husbands information and say hi. It's really important, but also inquire as to the state of said hole in the ground, and just get a little bit of filling in, because it wasn't like this last time. So if you don't mind, I would like to do that. So, Captain, is that permitted? Is that okay for me to go on and do that? Or you could all come over and have a nice cup of tea or something.
Wait a minute, Onsen, are you telling me that there wasn't a great big hole in the ground last time? This isn't normal?
Well, last time I came home was like 5 years ago, and no, it didn't look like this. I'm not sure how recent this is. Being not an expert on holes in the ground, it's not my forte, as you might say. But so that's why I thought, families, got a lot more going on up here than I tend to have, and they're a little bit more clued in. So I've got to go do that and ask them, but maybe they could shed some light on this entire hole in the ground situation. And
it could be that stuff. What's it called? I'm a wizard, not a dirt person, a geologist. With some symbiosum, subsimsium. When the ground just sinks, makes tap holes. Is anyone picking up what I'm?
The cart driver kind of nods. And she says, like, when there's that kind of hole in the ground that just sucks everything down, or when there's a big shake and then everything falls into it.
2 seconds, my cat's getting clawy.
Goodbye, sweet angel.
I'm just cautious because I know that I'm only wearing tracksuit pants and they're kind of faux silk, I think, and that's gonna be real painful.
And potentially damaging to comfy pants.
Well, I mean, yeah. Okay, so the hole that just sucks everything in like some sort of vacuum.
Yeah. I didn't know you spoke Draconic.
Actually, as it happens, I don't.
No, neither do I. But it sounds like it.
No, I've just seen the word vacuum in a lot of books. Vacuum. It's spelled with 2 U's. I don't know if it's vacuum or vacuum. I figured they had different sounds. Otherwise, why would you use 2?
Galonzo has completely checked out of this conversation and is looking for places to hang up flyers for his show tonight. Just assuming that there's a place in town like with a standard kind of bar name, like the Blind Pig or something like that.
As you're looking around, you actually see some pieces of paper that are posted around on signposts.
What do they say?
They say, now featuring Starla Sparkle Shine, coming to the inn near you.
He is furious. Like red-faced.
You can see that there's they're embossed with like 2 like tap shoes that are like super glittery. And there's like some wands crossed at the top, and everything's in super beautiful like font.
Like firework kind of blooms in the background. Just like her. He rips one of them down for sure.
As you go up to rip it, and it starts to pull free, as if by magic, from the sign comes a booming female voice that says, "Now announcing Starla Sparkle Shine at an inn near you. Now," and it just starts continually going and going as the rest of you who are kind of talking about going to meet like this person and how to pronounce vacuum. You start hearing this booming voice coming out and see Glonzo with his hand like halfway pulled down this piece of paper that was attached to a signpost.
He's yelling at the signpost to shut up. He's yelling. He's on the verge of like having a full argument with this sign.
Well, since Gonzo's just gonna lean into Onsen, wow, Gonzo seems really angry all of a sudden.
Yeah, even I know that signs don't talk. That just seems excessive. Excessive.
It seems excessive.
It seems like good advertising, though. I think everyone from the next 2 blocks could hear it.
I mean, it can't be great for sleep and stuff. Can you imagine living in that apartment right next to the lamppost? God, I'd go mad. Like you're trying to work out a new spell and it's just coming to a thing near you.
It's still going. Like
Oh yeah. He'll put it back up, and then he's gonna summon his lute from the case, and then just start performing on the street.
When you put it back up, it stops screaming, but there's almost like a ring in your ears.
Oh, yeah.
as you have been right up next to this thing.
Yep.
And go ahead and make me a performance roll.
Not good.
You do have a reroll if that's something you're interested
I would
in.
like to use that reroll.
Okay.
19.
19. So you take out your lute and you begin to play it. As the rest of you look on, you just smashed his loot last night, and now a new loot. This guy must be loaded, like, to afford so many loots.
That or he's just addicted to looting things.
Oh, no.
As you start performing, almost like the sign is like your audience, like you are dedicating this
Battle
song.
of the Bands.
What is your song about?
How horrible Starless Sparkle Shoes is, and how overrated she is, and how only dorks go to her show, and how much better he is, and everybody loves Glonzo Glitter Guts. Like in that realm, that vein.
Have you ever seen The Wedding Singer with Adam Sandler?
A long time ago.
I feel like it's the song where he's like, "When I think of you, Linda, I hope you can choke," and like, yeah, just like imagining him like at this sign. The rest of the party kind of at each other and at you. And you play really well, and at the end, as you play your final note and you sort of glare at it, the paper, the flyer bursts into flames.
Yes.
And just sort of turns into ash on the floor.
Oh,
And,
Yep.
Yay! More!
Does that shut the lamppost up?
I think so.
Not screaming.
Oh, I did a workout yesterday. I meant to fling my arms up so much faster than I just did, and I think I may now be stuck.
Stretching, it's good. Arm circles.
Yoga.
So as the last notes of Glonzo's song go off and this sign bursts into flames, the guard that you saw earlier rounds the corner and doesn't look angry, just sort of looks quizzical at the five of you standing in the middle of the street. Day.
I immediately look nondescript.
Roll me a performance or deception.
I'll choose to fail. I'm clearly a tiefling.
As you look very descript, you can tell that this is a dragonborn officer of the law, and they kind of look quizzically at what has happened, and then kind of see the paper flyer ash at the bottom of the signpost, and kind of.
Hello, officer person. Hello. Is this anyone I would remember from previous times that I know?
Looks pretty young. Maybe not really like in your age group. So you kind of like one of the like youngsters when you were last here. Maybe a bit too young for that, or maybe moved. You don't really recognize the person.
Fair enough. Hey, Town Watch, City Watch guy. Hi. I'm a Sweeney. Could you have they moved? Is the family still in the same place? Would you know? And once you've answered that one, what's going on with this hole in the ground situation that we currently find ourselves in? I'm just curious. It wasn't here last time I was here, and just want to make sure everyone's fine, family's fine, and the hole in the ground thing is I'm just a little bit lost there.
Me too.
Yeah, him too.
Kind of like looks taken aback and says, "Well, the hole's always been here. Family's still where you left them. Yeah. Yep. Always this is normal. I can take him. Take you to the. He says swimmies.
Yeah, swimmies.
Yeah.
Onsen. Yeah.
Yeah. I can. I can. Excuse me. I can take you to them. Yeah.
You seem a little bit well, out of sorts there.
No, I just
Slice of melon or something.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just just make him around. It's just getting in shape is work. I'll kill you.
Yeah, well, and I don't mean to be, that guy, but I'm kind of thinking when I left 5 years ago to do the working for the family bizzo thing. I don't remember there being a hole in the ground. Well, like this big. Now, don't get me wrong. I could be mistaken. What they say, not the sharpest tack in the boot. Not entirely sure what that means, but clearly it's important. But cat transport. That was Ripley, who is a little bit grumpy. Has a tendency to explode into a cat grenade. So back to our regularly scheduled program. Hole was. I don't remember this. Now maybe I might not have noticed it, but I think I probably.
It's always been there. Where he went to the Navy. Probably just too much sun. Makes your memory fuzzy.
Oh yeah, defo. I understand that. So just one tiny, teeny, minor point, because clearly I've forgotten this. How would I have climbed out?
You look scrappy. It's a good rope. I don't know, man. I don't watch everybody who this is more inside the.
Hang on, and Onsen starts rummaging around his back and pulls out a grappling hook. I got one of these attached to a really long rope, but it won't reach. So I'm really confused. Help me out here, brother. How would I have got out?
You may roll an insight against this man if you would like.
Yeah, wisdom is not Olsen's strong suit, and that's all I've been rolling today. But
he probably wasn't there when you left, and he's sort of like, magic or teleportation or really good climbing.
Okay. Well, sure. That seems reasonable, I guess. I'm pretty fit, relatively, and I can move. So yeah, that must have been it. I must have magically climbed out. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Oh my god! I've just had a business idea. Oh, if you've got this great big hole, but you haven't got a way to get out, it seems to me like you're in need of a wizard.
Get to magically climb.
Yeah!
Maybe you can call that the Climo Teleporteratron. Catchy name.
Very catchy. Unfortunately, I don't actually know that spell or any spell like it just yet, but it's something I could work on, I'm sure.
He kind of nods and says, I mean, it'd be a lot easier if you just the whole city just back to, for the first time raised to the to the solid with the flush with the it's
Oh,
not.
I agree. So why haven't you done that?
I'm not a wizard.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
I'm just an apprentice, but my friend Ken here, he's a great cleric.
Yes, I can do that. Probably in chunks, maybe over several days. But yeah, I know the spells. It's really just moving earth. I've worked a lot with earth elementals. He seems to sort of like be falling into his stride as he kind of like, does the wizard flex. Do you want me to start right now, or?
Oh, hang on a minute. Let's work out some sort of business plan here. We don't want to, I mean, this could really set us up. We could be heroes. We could have some sort of career out of this. Maybe we could go around raising cities all over the place. We should talk terms. Let's not rush into anything.
I will.
Yeah, I would suggest we definitely would want to talk to at least. I know my wife; she's a lot smarter than me, and some of the other husbands, or maybe the mayor, or someone in charge, maybe.
He kind of like looks around as though expecting like a mayor to kind of appear out of nowhere and says, she's not here. She's not. I mean, she's here. She's in the city. I mean, how could you leave the city? But she's not.
Well, hang on. I had thought she could have like magically teleported, climbed out like I did.
Yes, maybe. I don't keep tabs on her, of course, but yeah, I will. I can find her when I find her, and I can tell her that wizards want to raise up the city for a price, or a wizard, or some people.
I bet she'd get real excited. You might get a promotion.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I'll have to talk to her once I find her here.
Seems like a great idea.
I'll go find her. And unless do you need anything? Escort or directions or?
No. If the family's still at the same place, and said hole in the ground issues haven't displaced anything, then I can head back to the family compound.
Well, it's always been in the ground. It's just to displace it.
No disrespect as to your outlook on said experience of said hole. But yeah, I must have got a bit of sun because I'm not really digging this hole in the ground business. Whatever. Winks.
No, it's inconvenient. There's problems with travel, trade.
I would imagine falling.
Yeah.
Up there, falling like we almost did.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
Oh, God, not your fault.
I didn't design the
hole
city.
in the ground is what it is,
Yeah.
I'd be talking to the architects and design leads on this to establish why they felt it necessary to put.
Maybe it's just an idea.
Ground without stairs.
Maybe it's just an idea, but maybe the hole was always there, and it just sort of like was built on rolling rocks. So maybe they built this city on rocks that roll.
Maybe.
Oh.
And he kind of I'll go to the mayor. You should wait at the Blind Pig, because that's where we have a performer, actually, the sign, in town right now, who also probably teleported down here. But
Or
she's
fell.
something. See, oh, well, she's not dead. I'm not that I. Yeah, maybe.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, officer. Much appreciated.
course.
Shouldn't hold you up anymore. You do your thing that you do, which clearly you do so well.
Yes. You do take your family and all that. Good luck.
Okay.
And he kind of
Bye.
awkwardly kind of shuffles on. Your cart lady kind of not sidles in a attractive way, but sidles up to Kent and says, I think this is slightly outside of my wheelhouse. I might want to go back. If you actually can teleport people. And Kent kind of nods and says, oh yes, I can teleport people. It's quite easy. Quite a simple task. And she kind of closes her eyes and nods and turns to you all and says, it's certainly been an experience. I'm glad I could deliver you safely.
Oh, thank you. It was nice being on top of your wagon.
Of course. And if you ever need any transport again, and she kind of goes through a little side pouch and she pulls out some cards and she holds them out to you and says, just don't hesitate to call my work and I'll take you where you need to go.
Top of the hole?
I'll figure out a way. I'm very determined to get to where I want to be sometimes.
Gonzo takes one of the cards.
Okay. And she kind of offers it to the rest of you, and if nobody takes it, she'll put the extras back in her.
Oh no, definitely. I'll have a card. Yeah, thank you. Because this is novel. No one's ever thought him important enough to have a card before, so that's really cool.
You're going up in the world, Anson.
And,
well, hopefully, because we're at the bottom
Guys.
of a hole right now.
Only place to go is up.
Oh man.
And you were really at rock bottom.
Line here. Sunshine in sunny afternoon Australia is clearly messing with sunshine, darkness. So yeah.
I haven't got long until the sun starts causing me problems as well. It's starting to rise.
Kent will take a card also, and kind of looks at it and looks at the driver, and puts it kind of in his areas, and she goes around and shakes your hand one more time and says, it was a pleasure meeting you all, and I hope to see you again sometime there, preferably. And Kent kind of nods, and he casts something at her, and as he finishes, she kind of fades out, and then you hear off in the distance kind of and you hear the horses kind of
Ooh, that was cool.
Thank you.
No, that's it. Can you do that all the time? Is that an often thing?
Well, it's not something I could do 20 times a day, but maybe a couple times.
Good. So you could keep that up a couple of times a day. Good
Right.
to know. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, I did study for a long time. I have my own tower, and perhaps we should be.
Yeah, about that. You had your own tower.
Yes,
Why is
until
my voice going a bit more Mickey Mouse? Oh God.
until my spell wore off, of course, my containment spell. But you know, such is the way with things. You perform some spells, and you hope you're able to recast them forever, and then you have to leave, and it doesn't get recast again. So he kind of like shrugs and gestures to Anson and says, "Shall we proceed on to your abode then?"
Yeah, that'd be great. Haven't seen the family for such a long time. Really looking forward to catching up with them. Yeah, it'd be nice. I love this getting back first thing because they actually noticed me for a bit, and that's really 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 awesome. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice, and we can get a cup of tea or juice or something or other. So yeah, shall we?
Yes.
And Olsen will start leading on to where he seemed to recall his family was.
So as you go on, they're kind of towards the outskirts of the town, and you approach the house. It looks pretty much as you expected, and in the distance, you see something you didn't expect against the wall of this sheer sort of surface. You see something that seems like canvas tightened into the wall. It's probably about the size of like 3 people abreast, and you look at it, and it kind of flutters, and you see the mouth of a hole behind it. And as you're watching it, Syntagon, you feel something get pressed into your hand as Kent passes you a card, and he looks at you and says, "I think I'll be proactive about finding this mayor," and strolls off. As you look at the card that's in your hand, it says, "Need to go somewhere? Need to find someone? Call on Cardassa's carts." And we're gonna stop there because I'm feeling really sick, guys.
No, fair. I've got a plane to catch soon anyway, so the extra time will probably help me out if anything. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Holly. I'm sorry you're feeling sick.
It's okay.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I hope you get well. That awesome session. That was a lot of fun. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with you guys too. I just wish I was less snotty. I feel like I keep almost crying on stream, and it's not even sad.
Well, let's go around quick and do a wrap up. You guys can tell us who you are. We can find you online and all the wonderful things you do. You can tell us your favorite part as well. That'd be great. My favorite part was almost definitely any time that Onsen didn't get it. Those moments of trying to explain something were fantastic, though not to take anything away from Glonzo's wonderful performances and the looting. Why don't we go around the opposite way around and start with Chris Anthem this time?
Cool. Hi. Look, in my day job, I'm a esports academic and tabletop role-playing researcher. Delusions of indie writer and stuff like that. So I have the wonderful, wonderful thing of doing this for a living, in terms of, academia and what have you. So that's just the best thing in the world as far as I'm concerned. Where am I found? At Anthem on pretty much everything. Twitter and on all the other socials except Instagram, because I have a really Instagrammable face, clearly. So I'm not across that. Favorite bit, it had to be the rock and roll pun. Just awful, but glorious. I bow down to you, sir. Yeah, like I love every game I'm involved in, and this is no exception. It was a lot of great interaction. For me, that's what I enjoy mostly is playing around and getting to know other characters and see where we fit within the world together. So for me, that was absolutely fantastic, and thank you all for allowing me to participate in that.
Thank you so much, Chris. It's been a pleasure to have you, an absolute pleasure. Next around, we go to Hey Dr. Will. Andy, oh hi!
Hi. So you can find me on, I think, all of the places at Hey Dr. Will. I am a sociology professor in my day job at a university in northeastern Pennsylvania. I'm in the process right now of trying to start a community organization called Play for Progress, where we're going to be using D&D and other tabletop games really as a means to try to help out kids who have been alienated, who have been victimized, who have been bullied, who have substance use issues. I'm hoping to, like, fingers crossed, to be able to get in with our county juvenile probation kids. So really, like, anybody that I can get into with this program. So you'll see me around, I think. As far as like my favorite moments tonight, it's really hard for me to pick because Guanzo is a character that is very much dissimilar from me, and so I enjoyed the fight with the sign as a sort of like Daffy Duck kind of duck season, rabbit season kind of a moment. I thought that was wonderful, and you know, I should have known when I told you before that he needed a rival. I should have been smart enough to like know that I was like guaranteeing that was going to happen, and I hope that we have a chance to like run with that sometime. So, and of course the puns, like, you guys are killing me over here.
It's our pleasure, our absolute pleasure. And I didn't really. It only just occurred to me how many professors we're playing with today. It's awesome. When it comes to like kids and stuff as well, feel free to advertise that sort of stuff in the Discord, because I know lots of people who want to try and help out. I can't do a lot live with the Twitch channel because of TOS. I'm literally not allowed to work with kids, but outside of Twitch streaming, I'd also love to get involved as well at some point. I think it's a great opportunity to help kids.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to do this more. I'm trying to go to like local conventions. I went to PAX Unplugged this past November. I'm going again in December, just to try to sell like what we're doing, and raise awareness and do like especially mental health advocacy. So if anybody in chat wants to help out, please follow me on Twitter, DM me. I'm more than happy to talk to you about like the project.
Yeah, and
definitely talk to me. We should maybe have a chat off site, because the university I'm at, even though we're Australian based, we've got a fairly significant Department of Health, and they look into those areas, so there might be some connection that we can talk about. Like I'm esports events management and narrative theory. So myself, I'm not that useful to you, but we can look at making some connections.
So I went to I don't know if anybody here knows who Brian Stevenson is. He wrote a book called Just Mercy. He started this organization called the Equal Justice Initiative in Alabama, and he does a lot of pro bono work for people on death row. And it's a really like the book changed my teaching, right? And so I got to see him speak. He came to our university like a month or so ago, and he was talking about how one of the things that we can do better to help people who are suffering is to tell their stories, and tell stories that are really similar to like their lives, basically. And I really feel that as the calling, as like a new direction for my career. So again, I didn't mean for this to get like as a heavy end to the stream tonight. Fine. So I apologize for that, but any opportunities that I can get to either stream with you guys or whatever, like I think this is like a calling, honestly.
Yeah, well, yeah, and we'd love to get you back on the show again, definitely. Thank you both so much. Lastly, but most certainly not leastly, Sagephilia, Holly.
I'm not lastly, you're lastly.
Well, yeah, I guess I am.
I'm Sagephilia. You can find me here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Like I said at the beginning, I'm also on Twitter at Sagephilia. My favorite part, I like the band merch a lot, and the fact I love when people give me something to make in the world, and I was able, I feel like, to give you both of your characters something cool to work towards. Like we had, the family, and then we had also this band competition, this battle of the bards, and so I'm super excited about that. I feel like it was a good time for everyone to be making progress, which I think is sometimes hard to do when you're just playing a one shot. And I loved Syntagon's like, oh, I totally didn't just run out of that kegger. That didn't happen. Absolutely not. Like, yeah.
We didn't even address it. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Puck wasn't here, but
it'd be
It's
fine.
like it never happened.
This is fine.
He's in a new city now. Nobody knows.
I'm honestly
really.
dreading Abby catching up next week and punishing me. But there we go. I am going to wrap up the stream. Everyone, please take a moment to check up the things being spammed in chat now by our bot. All of our social links, places you can support us, sponsor information. Big thank you to Burden in the Storm Publishing and Mage Hand Press, whom I am literally going to go and get on a plane to go and visit for the weekend now. Not a work trip. We're just going over there to meet the family, have vacation. So I'm also like hastily scheduling some tweets so that there's something happening on my Twitter this weekend. But hey, we'll see.
Everyone at Scratticus this weekend with your cool TTRPG tweets, just so that it looks like there's more activity going on.
That'd be fantastic. But I will get back on Monday to like 1 million notifications and just cry.
Do it.
That is all the things. We're gonna raid We Are Nerdsmith this evening. Did we have a quote at all this session? I know Tater went to bed a while ago. He's usually our quote person. And I've lost the quotes command altogether. There it is. Baby, so that's what your cat learns. I think we'll go with so that's what your cat learns, because baby, I need to see if they're going to die tonight is, an interesting one. Although we're raiding We Are Nerdsmith, so they probably understand, right? Probably. If I can find my own emote. There it is. Oh no, Fallout Koi Carp wins. Thank you. Perfect. There you go. There's the raid cry. We will see you next time. We'll be back now on Monday. We're flying in, getting straight on the computer and streaming. See you on Monday. It'll be great. Have a great weekend, everyone. Keep evoking emotions. We'll be back same time next week for more Fading Footsteps. Catch you later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.